Here's another one of my tips that you can apply to your difficult relationships, and that is the idea about magic words. All of us in our difficult relationships are desperate at one point or another to get someone to listen to what we know is common sense, listen to what we can clearly see that this person is doing wrong, that is going to be disastrous in their life. And it's listening to words that are warning them about just simple things they could do to turn their life towards the better. The fears that we have about that, the obsession that we have, if we could just get them to change, get them to listen, get them to understand, they can be absolutely all consuming. I know because I lived that for a good part of the beginning of my marriage and at other times with different family members where I could clearly see problems. It was painful to watch. It was painful to endure what they were doing to the relationships with me and with others, and yet finding those magic words. It was this quest that I went on, and I spent many a sleepless night just going over and over and over and over the problems in my head. And I don't get headaches. But I could literally give myself a headache after so much intense thinking and pleading and with my own mind, like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What could I say? And I would try this conversation and that conversation. I would imagine long conversations with a particular person, and I would think about, okay, if I said it like this, there won't be that much of a reaction. The defensiveness will be less, and the person will be able to listen, and they'll be able to hear, and then they'll go, oh, I get it. And they'll say, okay. And then they'll ask me, like, what else do I need to do? Or can you help me do that? And then I could respond in the way that I would respond. And in the end, everything was fine, except no, those conversations didn't happen. I didn't get to say those things to someone. And if I did, the person did not listen. The person was not ready, willing, or able at that particular time to listen, or at least didn't want it to come from me. A lot of times we are not the ones to save our family members. We're not the ones to bring them to their bottom. We're not the ones that they come to fix it for them when they're truly willing to get help. They might come to us to try to get them out of situations when they're just wanting to get rescued. But when they really want to fix it, usually they know where to go. They're looking for true help, and it isn't going to be for us to magically fix it. But those words, the reason I call them magic words is because we think that we can find magic. It would be like taking a wand and just saying, you're better now. Your life is okay. You're making good choices. You're serving the Lord. You're seeking the Lord. You realize you're wrong. You realize you're treating me wrongly. You realize you're abusive. You realize that you're toxic. You realize that you're a narcissist. And it's that little wand that you just wave and it goes, whoop, problems are gone. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those words to make someone get it. And those words don't exist. And the reason that they don't exist is that if a person wants to get it, they don't have to have perfect words. They don't have to have it come from you. They're going to look for it. They're going to find it. They're going to be seeking. And then the words don't have to be perfect. The answer is already there. The person is already looking for help, already seeking for an answer, already willing to do the work, willing to get better. Your magic words are all out of magic. They can't make a person want to get better. They can't make a person want to get help. Now, that doesn't mean that setting a boundary or something at the right time might have an impact. It absolutely can influence somebody. And even letting somebody know the truth about how you feel, that can have it. But the magic words to just make everything go away that you're just, searching for, that's not the solution. So if you know that you've been trying to tell somebody something and the person isn't getting it and you're wearing yourself out, and you are not taking care of yourself, or you are having those sleepless nights or those long conversations or writing those long letters, writing those long emails and then deleting them or sending them and have the person not open them or not read your texts or whatever it is, whatever you're pouring your energy into, if you realize the person is not getting it, then you need to redirect that energy. You need to redirect it towards yourself. What can you do to take care of you? What can you do to get yourself more emotionally better, more emotionally stable, more emotionally sound? And what do you need to do to take care of yourself, recognizing that the person isn't necessarily going to change in the near term, or maybe not even in the long term? So what is it that you could do differently that would help take care of yourself and maybe make you not quite so dependent on trying to rescue this person with magic words? So Matthew 13 through 15, Jesus basically, he knew that there were people around him that no matter what, they weren't going to hear him. They weren't interested in hearing him. Their ears weren't open. Their eyes weren't open. They didn't want him to. And he said this is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For the people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. So Jesus knew they're not willing, they're not open, they're closed. So what's the difference? If I speak to them in parables, they won't get it. If I speak to them in parables and their ears are open and their eyes are open, they're going to get it. Okay, it's not going to be confusing to them. So it doesn't matter. They're not going to get it either way. Proverbs 13:18 says, he who ignores discipline comes to poverty and shame, but whoever heeds correction is honored. You can choose to heed correction or not. And if you're not going to, what is it? What's the outcome? And then I think this is interesting. Proverbs 27:22 says, though you grind a fool in a mortar, grinding him like grain with a pestle, you will not remove his folly from him. So that's basically taking the stone and putting that grain in there and just taking that rock, just going around and around and around, grinding it as hard as you can. It's where you take a hard, dry corn, an ear of corn or wheat, and you do that enough to where you grind it to a fine flour. But if you do that with somebody who doesn't want to correct their ways, even that's not going to change them. So how is it that you think that you are going to find the perfect words? Ask yourself that question. And you may decide that it's better for you to put your energy toward taking care of yourself. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship.